everyone, Thunder Thrills here, and today I'll be reviewing one of the most underrated roller coasters that I have ever ridden, Adventure Express. In my personal opinion, this is the best roller coaster at Kings Island by far, and in this review, I'll be going over two separate types of rides on this coaster, day and night, as they are both two entirely different experiences. One is by far the best Aero Mine Train, and the other is by far the best coaster for laterals. So with that being said, let's get into this review. This ride starts off like any other mine train. A slow turn out of the station and some turns with mild laterals. But after the first tunnel is when this coaster really shows what it can do. During the day you get solid laterals on this first turn, but at night it's the first major lateral jolt. You get absolutely slammed to the side of the train. After that turn comes a quick airtime kink right before this straight section. This kink actually gives solid ejector no matter the time of day. But after that straight section comes the unbanked turn before you hit the lift hill. If you are sitting in the front car, most ideally row 3, the trim actually doesn't hit soon enough so you get violently slammed to the side. Overall, I would say this pre-lift is a great introduction to what this ride will be like. I'm going to speed up the lift hill because there's nothing notable about it besides some audio and mild rock work. After the lift comes a sort of pre-drop style element. This is one of the best moments on the ride for sense of speed. If you're tall enough and sitting to the right side, you can actually reach out and hit the tree next to the track. After this element comes the second jolt of laterals. During the day you get very solid laterals here, but at night it's one of the craziest moments of the entire coaster. You get violently tossed across the train with some of the most violent and sudden laterals I've ever experienced. Coming out of that turn during the day you get some solid airtime, but at night it's literal ejector. After this moment you get another turn of very strong laterals before the helix. And this helix, during the day, gives very solid laterals. But at night, it literally combines sustained laterals with positives, which makes it one of the best parts of the entire coaster. After that, you enter a tunnel where you start to feel some intense sense of speed. The kink going into this turn is among the strongest on the ride and really throws you around. Even during the day, you get very solid laterals here. After the turn inside the tunnel, you hit what's probably the weakest part of the second half. This turn gives an awesome sense of speed and probably the best sense of speed on the ride, but the laterals aren't very strong on this section. However, what comes after this turn is one of the most sudden moments of ejector airtime I've ever experienced. There is a kink between these turns that gives a crazy pop of ejector. Now, for the best part of the ride, the final turn. This is unironically one of my all-time favorite roller coaster elements. You go into it with so much speed, and you get the strongest moment of laterals on any roller coaster, period, at night. The first time I rode this at night, I was genuinely shocked by the strength of the laterals on this turnaround. It was so extremely aggressive that I actually slammed my head into my friend's shoulder. That is only the first half of the element. Coming out of it is a crazy lateral ejector kink that tosses you to the side of the train more than any other element on this ride. After this, the ride is over, and you hit the greatest lift on any coaster. It is irresistible to just move your arms along with the animatronics, and it is an extremely funny way to end off the ride. Now that we have broken down the layout, it's time to talk about the overall ride experience. One of the best parts about this ride is that the queue is almost always completely dead at night. Even my friend who went on a busy haunt Sunday said it had no line by 9 o'clock. This makes it extremely easy to marathon. The one downside is that KI has a policy that makes you go around each time, so even if there's no one in the station, you still have to go around. However, this isn't too big of an issue since the queue is short anyway. Another great thing about the overall experience of this ride is the atmosphere. This ride has a great atmosphere in the station, and during the ride, especially at night. The theming, while mild, adds to the experience, and the audio during the coaster adds to the experience of the ride. And like I mentioned, the final lift hill is a super funny way to end off the experience. This ride actually has a similar atmosphere to world-class coasters such as Voyage or Outlaw Run. Another awesome thing about this ride is the restraints. They are super open and easy to keep up throughout the ride. I would recommend trying to get as much room as possible so you can fly further across the train. Another recommendation I have for this ride is to ragdoll during it. Let your body go limp and let the laterals take you for the ride. Overall, Adventure Express is one of my personal favorite roller coasters at nighttime. The POVs may make it look unassuming, but during the day, it's definitely the best mine train and still a very solid coaster, but it is nothing compared to the beast it becomes during the night hours. This is a hot take, but I would honestly say this is a better night ride than the beast. It's so extremely unhinged and has the largest difference I've ever seen between day and night on a coaster. My overall score for this coaster during the day is an 8 out of 10, but it turns into a perfect 10 out of 10 at night. This is Thunder Thrills signing off, and I'll see you in the next video.